framing, you'll notice that I have 2x6s from the old barn there, and then I move over to 2x8s for the old barn, which meant I had to step up to accommodate the difference in sizes. But that's what I have to use, and so that's what I'm using. And the outside fascia board here is the 2x8 from the barn, and you'll notice something here. There's an overhang there that doesn't exist here, and that's because I'm a little bit out of square. So this overhang gets cut off. Still it remains 2 feet back from the wall, and the overhang on the other side, same thing happens, because what I do is I frame over there and then I measure so that the roof size, everything lines up so that the outsides are right. So the fact that it's about 1 inch out of square, I have to live with. At least it's level. And so what I'm doing now is I've snapped a line. These overhangs of joists will then be cut, if you look at the little line on it, all along so that they're at the exact same length, overhanging off the front wall. And the roof will be 13 feet across, front to back, and it will be about 22 feet running north and south along that. I did the 2x8s here that you're looking at in the center, and so what ends up happening is the 2x6s, after they've been lifted up, still lie about 3/8 of an inch lower. So there's a slight roll off of water that will head towards the north and south. That's okay, because ultimately it's running down to the rear where I'll be collecting water off the membrane roof. I went with plywood here because it just is a time factor. To spend $150 to get out of here 2 days earlier, for me, is quite important. I couldn't take the 3 to 4 days to put on the shingles and to build the rafters. So this was important for me now, and I'll either like it and keep it, or I'll change it when, at a later date. But the 2x8s that I built with here are for a reason. I'm going to do a nice little deck up here that makes it an observatory. If you take a look at the farm, we really just have a great panorama view. This, for me, makes this tiny house location, Tiny House 2, a perfect location for anybody who wants to observe nature. This is it. You're high up, you're looking at everything, and you can just be quiet. In the shed below me, I have 2 little turkey vultures that are growing up. They're downy white right now with black beaks, and that's going to change shortly. They screech at you, but they stay in the corner doing nothing. And the 4 bales of hay we're keeping here. My nice white oak tree there, but this dead oak tree behind it, what you find is that the big mom turkey vulture comes up there and sits there, spreads her wings, and really has that presence of sort of a Native American cultural Indian eagle look. And when she does it, she poses, and I think she's doing that for her little kids. And I look down into the glade, and you really get to see that we're in a very protected place here with this tiny house. I will keep that shed now that I was going to tear down, even because it's destroyed inside, even though it looks halfway decent outside, because of it's a vulture nest, and we'll see if next year the vultures return again to lay their eggs there. They've been doing it for years. And in the back you see a shed, and so far Emily has made that her home, although I'm not sure she's actually staying in it, but she's done a nice job of hanging a hammock and cleaning it up. Over there is the barn. I've been sleeping in the barn. Up there are some tents and whatnot, and you got Amanda and Emily and her sister Gertie playing around a little bit. I've got a blue tank on top of the garage, which shows to the left it goes down to the shower. To the right it'll go down to the composting toilets that aren't yet installed. And the pond is just over the hill there. You can't quite see it. And that's pretty much what's going on here right now. So on back to prepare for membrane. Bye-bye.